For the materials, we're going to need a 6.5mm hook, tape measure, scissors, yarn needle, a zipper or Velcro that you want to use, an elastic, and also a stitch marker or a safety pin to help guide the elastic through at the end. And the yarn that I used was the Just Chenille from Dollar Tree, but you can use any kind of yarn you want. I just wanted to try out different kind of yarns to see how my scrunchie would look, and I just wrote them up into like a cake to make it easier to use. So here's the different sizes. I have a 4-inch 4 inches wide and 20 inches long crochet scrunchie. And you just open it, and it's not lined or anything. You could line it, but I didn't, and it's just the elastic on the inside. I don't really like how the zipper came out on this one. I think I made it too long. So make sure when you're putting your zippers on that it's not too long. It's just big enough to put things in. So this one is 6 inches wide and 20 inches long. So it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more space. And I'm just showing you, I put my debit card and my license, my lip gloss. I also put my keys in here a lot, and just random things that I can fit, because I'm always with my kids and I never want to like have my purse all the time when I'm at the park and running around playing with them. So yeah, these are 2 different sizes, and because I wanted to put so much stuff in there, I needed to make a bigger one. So I'm making another like giant scrunchie. And so this scrunchie is going to be 30 inches long. You can make it however long you want, but the other ones were 20, so I'm going to make this one a little bit longer. And so I'm going to chain 75 plus 3, and 3 is for the turning chain. But you use whatever hook and yarn you want to get this gauge. So if you want to make yours 75, I mean not 75, if you want to make yours 30 inches long, then you would chain however many it is for you to get to the 30 inches. It may not be 75 like me. All right. So once you have your chain, you want to measure it. Don't pull it, but measure the length to make sure you got the right length. Trust me, I did it multiple times and I messed up after I was already doing my panels. And this yarn is so hard to see every stitch, so be careful. So if you turn your chain over, you will see the back bumps. You can't really see them with this yarn, but the back bumps are there. I can't really see them, so I didn't go in the back bumps. But if you do, it'll make it easier. The foundation chain will look better and it won't be so tight. Okay, so now I'm going to chain my 3 for the turning chain. And once you chain those 3, you want to yarn over. And then you want to put your hook into the 4th stitch from the hook, which is the one that you were holding while you were chaining the 3. And then we want to just go ahead and start a double crochet, which is the yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 more. Okay, then you just tighten up the stitch a little bit, and then you repeat that stitch all the way down the whole chain, a double crochet. Now you could have used any other stitch you wanted, but I was trying to do the do the least amount of work for this crochet scrunchie. So I was trying to get the rows to just go by quickly, so I used double crochet stitch. I'm telling you, this yarn was so hard to see. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I basically have 12 rows of double crochet, which is 8 inches for me. So it's 8 inches by 30 inches. That's the size scrunchie that I'm making. Yeah. So once you get it all measured, you got your size that you want. Then you're going to tie off your work. Now we're going to get to the zipper part. So right now I'm just marking the zipper for easy stitch placement. I'm just marking where I want to put the stitches along the zipper, and it's basically depending on the stitches, the stitch size of your panel. So I just looked at how long those stitches were and kind of tried to gauge how long to draw it. But it doesn't have to be perfect anyway, because some of my stitches were longer than others. So yeah, I wasn't really stressing all those particular things about the project, because I've messed up on all of them and they all still came out perfectly fine. So don't stress it. All right, so thread the needle and make some running stitches down the zipper sides. On the short end first, you start where's the short end, and then you go down the long sides, because we need 2 stitches at the ends, and then we need stitches along the sides. And I did pre-poke the stitch areas, because it was so hard for my needle to go through the zipper material, and with the yarn that I was using, because I wasn't using the same yarn that I crocheted with. It's t-shirt yarn that I'm using. So it was kind of difficult for me to do that. So yeah, you might want to pre-poke it with like a needle or a crochet hook or scissors, but be careful. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing, just going down and stitching along. And this project was so fun to make that I just kept making more. I was like, I need them in different sizes and different colors. All right, so you can just continue and go all the way around until the whole zipper has the running stitches, and it just makes it easier to crochet into with the hook. And there's so many different ways that you can do this. This is not the only way, but this is just the way that I chose to do it. I was struggling to do this, guys. Oh my God. My hands hurt so bad trying to push it through. I was like, why is it so hard? I probably should have used like the metal needles. And so I'm going over the little side part, the smaller side, more than once, because it needs to be secure, because that's where the zipper is going to be opening and closing from. You're going to be pulling on it. So I just made it a little bit extra secure. And then you tie a knot and make sure it doesn't come loose. That would be one of the worst things. So yeah. And then you just cut the ends off so they won't be so visible. And I'm going to have to fix it at the end too, because I kind of made some mistakes, which is absolutely okay, because it's a crochet project. Everything doesn't end up perfect the first couple of times you do it. So now to place the zipper, I have opened the zipper, and then I'm going to place the stitches face down on the zipper, and then each side is going to get stitched to the zipper to make it turn into like a tube. That's basically what it's going to be. So I folded the long ways to find the middle where I could lay the zipper at. It really doesn't matter where you place your zipper, because of course it's a scrunchie and you're going to be able to just turn it however you want. But I wanted mine to be in the center, so I put some stitch markers to try to keep it in place. You can do whatever you got to do to keep yours in place. And then I'm going to start down at the ends. So you put the hook through both sides of the panel, and then you reattach your yarn and you pull the yarn through and pull the yarn through both panels, and then chain 1. Right? And then we're going to go through both panels and connect those with a single crochet all the way until you reach the zipper in the middle. And make sure that you keep both of your sides even. And then you put the hook through the stitch at the end of the zipper and then through the previous stitch on the actual panel to make the single crochet. So you're going in to those and you're pulling through and doing a single crochet to lock it in. So I put the hook directly into the zipper running stitch. I'm sorry if you can't see it. I'm trying to move the yarn out the way. And it's so hard to go through. So you put it through the running stitch on the zipper and then you put it through the stitch on the crochet panel. Pull the yarn through and complete a single crochet. So once you go ahead and stitch that side of the zipper, we're going to go ahead and switch and start doing the other side of the zipper because we can't complete the rest of the scrunchie without attaching both sides of the zipper. So yeah, just complete that part, that side, and then go straight to the other side. And don't worry, I'll show you how to switch the hook to the other side. And please forgive this voiceover. I'm not feeling the best and it's early in the morning before my kids wake up. All right. So once you do the last the stitch on the side of the zipper that you were already working on, go ahead and move to that. Take your hook and you want to reattach the yarn to the other side of the zipper where you first started at. And we're just going to do the same thing on that side. You reattach your yarn and then you go, I'm going into the crochet project first and then into the zipper. Kind of opposite of what I was doing on the first side. So in the crochet project and then into the zipper running stitch. And then you just complete it the same way you did. If you find an easier way for yourself to do it, then go ahead and do it that way when you attach it. But when I was using this yarn, it was tearing me up, y'all. Like, I really couldn't see and it was peeling. It was just doing a lot. But I made it work. All right, so then that's how your stitches are going to be secured to the side. Yeah. So then you switch the hook back to the first loop that you were working on the zipper with, and then you add the second loop back on the hook. So we're going to put the first loop back on, adjust it, and then put the second loop back on, right? And now we're going to pull one of the loops through the other loop. And now that's securing the zipper. And then we're just going to go ahead and single crochet the rest of the panel together to create the full tube. Yep, just continue like you did in the beginning on the first side. We're just continuing that all throughout. And then I cut the yarn tail that I was carrying and crocheting over. You can cut it if you want, or you can carry it all the way to the end. I felt like it wasn't going to unravel because I had enough by then. So now you want to thread your needle and turn the two right sides out, going through the zipper hole. And be careful, especially depending on what kind of yarn you use. You don't want to stretch it too much. So I pulled the tube right sides out because it was inside out at first. Now you're on your way to having a scrunchie. Okay, so once you get that, you want to get your elastic. Now I used elastic that was really thick and I should have used a skinnier one, but I didn't have any more. So my elastic is about 26 inches and I made it about 4 inches shorter than the actual tube. And then you place the ends of the tube together and you want to stitch around the circle to close it up. Now I messed mine up and I had to literally cut the stitches out. So if you see mine's looking raggedy, That's why, because I had to actually cut the yarn stitches to take the stitching out because I messed up and I did it the wrong way. So mine is all jacked up, but I tried to save it. I don't know if you can tell by the raggedy ends, but I tried to save it. So you're going to go ahead and just stitch through. So I started in the middle, and I was basically trying to just go around the circle and stitch it from the inside so you don't see the seam too much. You just want to move the tube around so you can just find the stitches as best you can. If you're using a different yarn, it'll be easier probably. But this yarn was so tricky. And so now the stitches are kind of on the outside, but you can't really see it. I just tried to do it the best I could, child. Okay. So after you cut the yarn, you want to make sure your zipper works. You see mine is kind of janky. Oh my God. But I made it work somehow. I kept the stitches from falling out. Okay, the zipper, make sure it works. Make sure it's nice enough for you. Then you want to add a stitch marker or a safety pin to hold the elastic onto your actual tube. Because we're going to put the elastic through the tube to actually make it a scrunchie. Because now you could really just use it as like a case to put stuff in if you wanted to. It doesn't even have to be a scrunchie. Okay, so then I added a safety pin. I don't know where my bodkin was at to pull the elastic through the actual tube. So I'm using the safety pin to guide it. And I'm just pulling it through the crochet so I can keep it in my hand tight. And so yeah, you got to figure out whatever works for you. Because each crochet scrunchie that I made, they were all basically different in the way that I constructed them. They weren't all the same, but I basically got to the same finished product each time. So when you're doing crochet projects, do not stress if you're not following every step that you feel like you're supposed to follow. Sometimes it doesn't work out and you have to pivot. All right, so once you pull that through, you go ahead and you tie off. Well, you see how your scrunchie looks, and then you tighten it up to get whatever fit you want. So you pull the elastic to your desired tension. You don't have to make it too tight or your scrunchie will definitely hurt your wrist while you're wearing it, or if you actually try to use it, because I do put them in my hair also when I want to be hands free and don't want to have the scrunchie on my wrist. And I do put it in my hair with my items on the inside. So I basically just took off some inches. I left about 13 inches for this elastic, and that's how I felt like it was a good fit. And I tied it and tied the ends together. You can stitch it together if you want, but I don't think it was necessary. I just tied it a few times really tight, and it doesn't come out. So that's basically a scrunchie, a crochet scrunchie pocket. Super easy. I like this big fluffy one. I like the texture of the yarn. I was going to try it with Juicy Couture yarn next, the little velvet yarn. But yeah, guys. So if your zipper was loose at the end like mine, I didn't stitch it correctly. You just want to go in and add a few stitches to secure it at the ends. Plus, I'm covering up the actual white zipper part because I was supposed to stitch that part better, but I didn't for some reason. So I'm just going in at the end and doing a few stitches around to reinforce that zipper and to cover it up. And then bam, your finished scrunchie is complete, and you can put whatever you want in it. I started putting remotes and stuff in there because I didn't have anything by me. So here's my earbuds, my crochet hook, and a remote. But a lot can fit in here just to show you, and it's not really that visible. You can put your keys, you can put money, your debit cards, lip gloss, or whatever. So thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's been a long time since I posted, but I've just been being a mom and a wife, and I'm trying to get back into the crochet world. So see you guys later, and thank you so much. Bye, guys.